Hey there, Sagittarius. Welcome to your reading. This is your August bonus reading, and we're going to be jumping right in here, and we are going to be looking at the main events, sorry, let me get this out of the way, that are going on in the month of August. So in the first row here, we're going to be looking at the kind of triple conjunction. Really, technically, Mars, Uranus, and the North Node are all at 18 degrees on the 1st of August. So that'll be the first thing we look at. The second thing we're going to look at is the full moon in Aquarius on the 11th in this column here. It's kind of weird. You're the last sign I'm doing this time. Normally, I go backwards, forwards, left, right. You know the deal. A lot of people have been getting these cards in different decks, not just this one, that represent advice from a friend. This card here literally says advice from a friend. I actually think someone else did have that card, if I'm not mistaken. So clearly could be an important month for that. Next, we're going to look at the Uranus retrograde on the 24th in this row here. And again, this reading looks pretty good. Again, as I've said to everyone else, these readings have actually been much more positive than I thought they were going to be, too, which is nice. And this last row, we're going to look at the new moon in Virgo on the 27th as well. But let's see what is going on for you here at this time. And there we go. So this looks pretty good. You start off here with this bear card, and it just says healing on it. And sorry, there's a bird. I don't know if you can hear that. That is super loud, just like freaking out over here. You have this shield card. It says you need to defend yourself. So again, I wouldn't be crazy with the whole defending yourself thing right now, even though you have a card that says that. I feel that kind of it is a good time to kind of protect your energy and all that other stuff, but like I wouldn't be, doing any like public displays of defending yourself or anything like that. Again, Mars retrograde year, even though Mars doesn't go retrograde until October, until closer to the end of the year, I don't care. To me, it's like anything, if you kind of like publicly try to defend yourself from things, I don't know, it's just like one of those things. It makes you look more guilty sometimes, I think. My perfect example is Will Smith this year. Again, clearly doesn't watch Minnow Pond because if he did, he wouldn't have made that mistake, right? Didn't work out so well for Will. But, again, I feel this is more of like a passive defense, making sure you don't put yourself in any weird situations. And again, it also does seem to be a good time for healing for everyone. In this first column, you have the Eight of Wands, the Ace of Wands, and the Judgment card. Love it. Everyone has had the Ace of Wands practically. Ace of Wands really asks us to do things that we're passionate about and that we feel like doing. You also have the Queen of Cups showing up in this reading, and the Queen of Cups is very similar as far as I'm concerned. It's not really similar, but the Queen of Cups, she really values her emotions, meaning she really values like how she feels about things. So if something feels good to her, she's going to do it. If something feels right to her, she's going to do it. And I kind of get that feeling with the Ace of Wands. I would be, if you have a desire to start a business, then I would do it. If you have a desire to, go on a date with a person, I would do it. Really good love reading too. Again, pretty much nobody had good love readings except for the fire signs during this month, it seems. You have the Eight of Wands. Again, everybody has had the Eight of Wands as well. Eight of Wands is all about communication, and I do feel that you could be receiving communication, probably from someone who is close to you again. I shouldn't say everyone, but a couple of signs have had messages of receiving like important messages from important people in your life. And again, these are people that are important to you, not everybody else. So again, if you receive a message from an important person in your life, like a parent or someone you look up to or a mentor, it would definitely be something that I would pay attention to. And again, you have the Judgment card in this first row as well. The Judgment card could also represent communication. So I feel like there's like important guiding communication. Those are kind of like the words that I'm getting here. I feel like it's information that guides you on your path, information that leads you in a certain direction. And that's what I'd be thinking about with this card here. I'd be like, what is this information trying to change for me? So it's like you could receive information from a friend who's like opening a business. Maybe it's a job opportunity. Could be receiving a message from a family member that's moving. Maybe it's an opportunity to move. It's like I'm getting that kind of message here where it's like somebody's telling you something and I feel like they want you to follow up. And I don't know how else to verbalize that for you, Sagittarius, but again, if someone tells you something about like a change or an opportunity, I don't think they're going to come out and like directly say, I want you to move with me. I want you to work with me or whatever. But maybe you do. I feel like you need to, again, trust your feelings. I feel like you hear them talking and you're like, oh my God, this is my opportunity. Speak up is what I feel like this reading is kind of saying. Because if you do, I feel like it's going to lead to like a very positive new beginning. Ace of Wands, passionate new beginning. Good things coming in for you. Next, you have this peacock spirit, and you also have this dog barking. It says advice from a friend. Again, definitely communication coming in from a friend or someone you're close with this energy. The peacock, again, I feel it's kind of like what everybody's feeling. You know, peacocks, they have those big feathers, the male peacocks, and they use it to like scare off predators, and they use it as also a mating display as well, but they kind of use it also for protection, right? And I would say that pretty much every single reading has had something about boundaries. You actually don't, but you know, except for this card here, and you know, maybe there are some like instances where you need to maybe draw some boundaries. That's kind of what I'm getting here. I'm also getting something about communication, more about communication, but how you communicate. And again, I feel it's asking you to speak up. I'm pretty sure, I'm not 100% sure, but I'm pretty sure in this deck that the peacock is about kind of like your throat chakra needing to speak up. So again, like I said, I would definitely speak up, as I was saying earlier. Again, I forgot to say, this column is about the full moon in Aquarius on August 11th. You have the Eight of Pentacles, the King of Wands, and the Death card. The Eight of Pentacles is like work that you've been doing. I feel like you've been working, very diligently towards success. So I feel like there's a lot of success coming in with this Eight of Pentacles. And if you've been working for just money in particular, you end the reading with the Ten of Pentacles. So there clearly could be results coming in for you. I kind of feel that around the middle of the month, like the 11th, and then like a little bit after the 11th, right, around the time of this full moon, maybe you're feeling like a little bit tired, or like you're not sure if you should keep working on something. And again, the message I'm getting here on the Eight of Pentacles is, yes, if you're wondering, should I keep working on this project, this business, this relationship? I would say yes. I feel like there's a result that's coming in with the Eight of Pentacles, because the Eight of Pentacles is material success on the horizon. And again, with the Ten of Pentacles coming up at the end, we definitely see the result. You have the King of Wands next. The King of Wands, of course, is you. I feel like you're just showing up in a very strong position here, Sagittarius. I feel like you're showing up in like a position of power and strength as the King of Wands. And so I feel like this just is you showing up in a good position. And next you have the Death card. I'm not even going to switch cameras because I feel it's talking about this right here. The two pillars from the moon show up right here by my finger, and the sun is coming up between the two pillars. So I definitely feel it's kind of talking about like a new day dawning in your life, and you know, this rebirth type of energy. A couple of other people have had similar messages. I feel like it's definitely part of the astrology. But again, I feel like you're also overcoming some fears, which is nice, because again, the two pillars from the moon are back there. And again, the whole point of the moon is that the moon is just a period of time. The moon comes up, moon goes down, sun comes up, right? So I feel like the sun is coming up here. Next, in the area of the Uranus retrograde, which is on the 24th, you have this new moon in Capricorn. It says your hard work is paying off. You also have this Vine card, and we said this with the Eight of Pentacles. Like I said, your hard work is paying off. Don't give up now. This card says seek out information that will help you. Again, pretty much every single person has had something about looking for information that could be very helpful, or finding helpful information. So I'd be doing anything you possibly can to find information about the things that you do. It's like in work, in business, in other areas of your life. It's like there could be information available to you that could be very helpful, but you have to look for it. And again, pretty much everyone has had this. It's kind of interesting because a lot of people have had the Ten of Pentacles. And again, Ten of Pentacles is my card of like hidden or secret information. It's kind of like a little known meaning of the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles can represent receiving information or receiving gifts from an unlikely source. And you know, I definitely feel that for you here. We're going to talk about that more in a minute. In this column, you have the Queen of Cups, the Star, and the Justice card. The Star is a card of inspiration. And again, you have the Ace of Wands and the Star. So I feel like there is something that is inspiring you to action. I kind of just feel like the Star is a little bit of a just better energy in general. Like, it might not sound very important, but sometimes I just feel like if we feel better about things, or if we, you know, I don't know how to say it, but it's like if we just, sometimes I feel like if we just feel more positive about situations in our life and like all that other stuff, then things typically go better. And maybe nothing's really causing it other than you just feel more positive at this time. And that's kind of what I'm getting here with the Star. But maybe you should try to magnify that energy. And I always like to remind people, it's like, when I'm feeling good, I make sure to magnify the energy. I make sure to, like, some days I come here, I go to do videos and I just feel really good. I try to do extra videos on those days. I really try to take advantage of the energy that I'm being provided with. So I kind of feel that for you with the star, especially around the 24th of the month, like the end of the month, basically. You also have the Justice card. Justice is justice. For you, I do feel if you're like waiting for justice in a legal matter, you could be receiving justice in a legal matter. I also feel it's talking about cause and effect. Again, I've never seen the Justice card so much in my life as I have in 2022. At the beginning of the year, I said justice is going to be the answer for 2022. And, meaning if you're looking to improve anything, if you're looking to grow, if you're looking to do anything, justice is cause and effect. Justice says, if I put energy into something, what do I get back? So justice just reminds us to kind of do the things that could lead to more success, but reminds us to stack more energy on the correct side of the scale. Basically, do more of what's working in your life. I know it sounds obvious, but, trust me, as someone who, I lived for many, many years doing everything that didn't work, right? As someone who lived it, I can tell you that I don't think we always do what works. Next, you have the Queen of Cups. Again, the Queen of Cups, I feel, is just talking about valuing your emotions. She's holding on to that cup, and it almost looks like a trophy, and she's really, really looking at it. She really values how she feels about things. So if things don't feel right, I would trust your feelings. Seems to me like it's a time where we really need to kind of trust our feelings, our intuition about things, but more importantly, again, our feelings here. So that's what I'd say there. I'm getting something about mother as well. So your mother could be important, or you could be becoming a mother, or you could be having a baby if you're looking to do that, by the way. Definitely popping into my head here with the Queen of Cups. At the end, with the new moon in Virgo on the 27th, you have this To Be Fair card. It says To Be Fair on it, and it just looks like the Justice card. You also have this Haystack card. It says Karma. You will reap what you have sown. There you go. So that's like the Eight of Pentacles as well, that Haystack card. And so I feel for a lot of you, it's like what you put into things is exactly what you're going to get out of things. So I would be making sure to put in like direct amounts of energy into the things you want to be successful. That makes perfect sense with the To Be Fair card and the Justice card. Like I said, I feel like the energy is very straightforward. I know I sound like a broken record, but I feel like it's super important that we all kind of pay attention to this. If we're doing the things that don't work, they're not going to work. It's like, I said it to someone else. It's like I saw someone make a video the other day about like how YouTube is changing and sorry, I'm choking. And how they're not getting as many views as they used to get on their channel and everything like that. I'm like, yeah, well, and I was looking at my own channel, right? My views have dipped a little bit. But you know what else I noticed is I haven't been doing the things that used to work for me. Like I've been getting a little lazy, right? So it's kind of like a kick in my own ass to say, hey, keep doing the things that you were doing that were working. Why'd you stop in the first place? And don't get lazy, right? I'm talking to myself here, Sagittarius. But again, it's like one of those things. I would be paying attention to the things that work in like business and your love life and your health, and make sure that you keep kind of like doing those things. Sorry, I thought my dog was gonna come for a visit. But anyway, you have in this row, you have the Lovers, the Ten of Pentacles, and the Page of Pentacles. So for some of you, I do feel there could be love coming in for you, obviously, if you want it. Again, I always say you have to get it. It's not going to just magically appear on your couch. You have to like put yourself out there. So I would make sure to, do whatever you can. Again, I always like to tell people, it's like tarot doesn't control your life. Tarot isn't magic, can't make anything happen for you. So it's like I always get comments where people are like, you said love was coming in, no one's come in. I'm like, well, what did you do? Did you go out? Did you try to meet people? Did you socialize? Did you do one of the million examples I provide every single month where I say like, go join a group based off of an interest? That's a great way to meet a person that has similar interests. Go to the gym, go meet a person at the gym, go do something, right? You have to do something to find this love. People always say, I don't want to do anything. And I'm like, okay, don't. See what happens, right? Your life will stay the same. So what I would say here is if you want it, get out there. The Lovers is also like being at a crossroads and having a choice to make. And I feel like you've already made the choice because it's right here. Your choice has already been made, and it looks amazing. It is the Ten of Pentacles. The Ten of Pentacles is like basically everything you want in life. It is a very positive outcome. As I always say, it's not possible to have everything that you want in life, of course, but it's pretty darn close, and it's definitely a very good card. So I feel there's a lot of financial success or just fulfillment coming in for you. You know, really the Ten of Cups is total fulfillment, but Ten of Pentacles, also a really good card. I also personally consider the Ten of Pentacles to be the best love card in the deck, even though it's a Pentacle card. It's kind of like having everything, building, leaving a legacy for a family. So it's like much more significant than just like the Ten of Cups, right? Very good. And finally here, you have the Page of Pentacles. Page of Pentacles, I feel good news coming in for you. If you've been waiting for communication as well, I feel like there could be communication coming in, but it's like from a person maybe you're interested in. So again, if you're already like kind of talking to a person, but you're waiting for them to kind of like make their intentions clear, then I feel like this could be that happening basically. For others, Page of Pentacles can just be a new person coming into your life. On top of all that, I would say with the Ten of Pentacles and the Page of Pentacles, really amazing for gathering information. Again, a couple other signs have had cards like research. This is very similar to me. You know, it's like I always say to people, it's like, I don't really like to read. I fell on my head when I was 10 years old. And, you know, even before that, I was like dyslexic growing up. And, you know, so I'm not like big on like reading books, but I like fly through Audible books and listen to as many as I possibly can. And again, it's like one of those things that totally changed my life a while ago. It's like I consume a ton of information, and but not only that, I put it into practice. Again, you will reap what you sow. It's like you can listen to books all day long, but if you don't try it out, if you don't practice the information you're learning, it's not going to go anywhere. But I do feel that if there's anything you want to learn about, I don't care if you want to learn about birds, I don't care if you want to learn about, you know, what, it doesn't matter, right? Could be anything. I feel like it'll have a great impact on your life. So if there's anything you're interested in, or if you're like looking to improve your business or improve your relationships, I'm sure there's a book about it. And I would definitely go research, because I feel like there's a lot of good information for you. I said it, you know, again, I said this in starting in 2017 when Saturn went into Capricorn. It's like, you know, I'll tell you what, I don't care that Saturn is not in Capricorn any longer. It's like, we learned the lesson while Saturn was in Capricorn, and then we have another, you know, 20-something years before it comes back. It's like, so for the next 20-something years, you are still dealing with the lessons of Saturn and Capricorn, right? So I always tell people, it's like, if during that time I was constantly talking about learning and how there's like a lot of gold and treasure in learning, but you have to go out and look for the information. And again, I feel like you know, for the next 20-something years, until Capricorn returns, it's like there is going to be a lot of gold in educating yourself. So I would definitely do it. With the Eight of Wands here, we're not going to clarify the whole thing. I'm just going to clarify what I feel like I need to clarify. So in the first row with the Eight of Wands, you have the Five of Cups. I feel for a lot of you, definitely a conclusion happening. I pretty much see this for everyone, and in the first row as well. And because of this triple conjunction, I do feel a lot of us could be just not finding joy or happiness in something that we once found happiness in. Eight of Wands is a conclusion. Do I feel like it's a big deal? No, I feel like we're just moving on to something much more fulfilling. It's pretty simple. With the Judgment card in the same row, you have the Seven of Pentacles. Yeah, like Seven of Pentacles is the juice worth the squeeze? See, this is the thing. It's like, I kind of feel this for everyone, where we could have something, especially financial in our life, like a business, a job, or something that provides for us financially, but it's like maybe it's not fulfilling for us any longer. So I feel a lot of us are maybe feeling called to something much bigger. And again, the universe is expanding. So I feel like the universe is trying to get everyone to expand. So of course we're being called to something much bigger, much more inspiring, something that can, you know, fulfill more people, or that could inspire people, right? Which I really feel everyone's being called to. We see this right here, by the way, with the Star card. You know, we kind of move through a lot of Aquarian energy. Some people say we're moving into the age of Aquarius, right? Really, I feel like it's about everyone becoming their own little star. Everybody kind of living their own life as themselves and inspiring other people to do the same. It's like the more people that do that, more people do it. And then we're going to create a lot of abundance and hopefully get out of all this crazy mess that we're in, right? And that's how I see it. But people need to do it, right? And that Seven of Pentacles is like, is it worth it? Is what I'm doing worth it? Or am I being called to something greater with that Judgment card, which I feel like you are? With the Knight of Wands, you have the Two of Pentacles. Two of Pentacles, like work hard, play hard. Again, I would make sure that if you're working really hard with that Eight of Pentacles in the same row right here, then I would, with the King of Wands and the Two of Pentacles, I would make sure that you're balancing out the energy. Make sure to do some things that you love to do things you enjoy, all that other stuff. With the Death card, you have the Eight of Swords. I feel, it's funny because everyone's had the Eight of Swords. Really, this is probably tied to the first row because, the first row, that triple conjunction, I feel like it wants us to realize that there are multiple ways to do things. We don't have to just do things one way. And the Eight of Swords is about only seeing one way to do things when there are many. So I feel as long as you are open to the multiple ways of doing things in your life, you'll be successful. So I just open up is basically what that's saying. With the Queen of Cups, you have the Knight of Cups. Definitely could be a knight in shining armor. Could be a water sign coming in for some of you if you are looking for love. Could also be part of your imagination. Again, I do feel it's a great time to look at your imagination and some things that you imagine that you want in your life that you don't think are possible. Because if there was ever a time where we could manifest the things that we don't think are possible, it is right now. Neptune and Pisces, right? For until the end of 2025, basically. With the Star card, you have the Three of Wands. What are you waiting for? Again, this has come up for a lot of people as well. Three of Wands is kind of like waiting for the perfect moment when there never will be a perfect moment. So I feel it is time to act. Again, like I say to everyone, there's going to be, it's like if you think the craziness in the world and stuff is going to slow down, it's not going to slow down. I think it's maybe going to get a little bit crazier. So it's like we need to get moving now before that happens on everything. Building relationships, starting businesses, doing the things you want to do. And that's kind of what I see here. I do feel like some of you could be moving, by the way. It just popped into my head. I want to clarify this Justice card, and you do have the Wheel of Fortune. So I want to clarify that whole row right there. And the Wheel of Fortune is about a turnaround. And again, kind of talks about balance as well. The wheel spins in... it's always spinning. It's the wheel of destiny. But if we take control of the wheel, then we can take control of the direction that the wheel spins. And that's exactly what I'd be doing with all this like karma stuff. You have that haystack card, which has karma on it. You have the Wheel of Fortune, which is the wheel of karma, the wheel of destiny, whatever you want to call it. But I feel you can control it with, where you're investing your energy, like we were talking about earlier. With the Lovers in this last row, you have the Hangman. Kind of interesting because I get this feeling of like waiting. Like I feel like you're saying, it's almost like you're saying, where have you been all my life? Maybe you're not literally saying this to a person, but I do feel that type of energy where you could be meeting a person where you're kind of saying to yourself like, where have I been all my life? I also feel like saying not that bad. Those are the words that are popping into my head. And so, but what I mean by that is like kind of like what I'm getting is that you could be trying something or doing something that you've been afraid to try, and I feel like you're realizing like, wow, that wasn't that bad. It could be anything. It's like, I think this happens a lot to people. Whatever it is, I feel like it's giving you a lot of confidence. Like, just as an example, there's a lot of communication stuff here. Maybe you're publicly speaking. Maybe you've been afraid to do it, but maybe you do it and you're like, wait a minute, that wasn't that bad, and it gives you a lot of confidence. So I feel for a lot of you, there could be like an opportunity to do something where you're like a little bit nervous to do it, but you do it and you're like, wow, that was actually not that bad. With the Ten of Pentacles, you have the Page of Wands. Yep, definitely time to go on an adventure. I feel that also, as I've said to every single sign, that the whole like triple conjunction that we have in Taurus, it's all about being spontaneous, being open to random adventure and things like that. If you do that, I feel like you'll be very successful. So amazing reading, Sagittarius. I really like this. So thank you for being here. Really appreciate it. Make sure to watch your sun, moon, and rising for a full picture of what's going on for you at this time. But thank you, and definitely enjoy your month.